First, Barack Obama has been whining lately, last few days, that his opponents have reminded America about his past relationship with domestic terrorist William Ayers. Ayers was a leader in the Weather Underground, an organization that claimed responsibility for a dozen bombings between 1970 and 1974. In his memoir, Ayers confessed to participating in the Pentagon bombing, not the 9/11 one, the one in 1972. Obama likes to point out, which is true, he was only 8 back then. Nobody's tying Obama to those bombings. But what you are tying him to is William Ayers, a man who, on September 11th, in the New York Times, he reflected on his own extremist past and told the New York Times, quote, "I don't regret setting the bombs. In fact, I don't feel we did enough." Back in 1995, Barack Obama was 34 at the time, didn't know William Ayers, but he got to know him in the short years after. William Ayers went as far to describe himself as a communist with a small c. You know what, I don't have a lot of communist friends, do you? Obama would love to have you believe that the vilification of William Ayers is a smear campaign by some crazy conservative fringe group. Not so much. I want you to take a look at this expose originally aired on one of the least conservative fringe organizations I can think of, CNN, and our own Anderson Cooper 360.
Bill Ayers and his wife, Bernadine Dorn, in the 1960s and 70s were radicals, members of the Weather Underground, an anti-Vietnam War group that bombed federal buildings, including the U.S. Capitol and the Pentagon. On the run for years, the case against them was thrown out due to illegal wiretaps and prosecutor misconduct. Ayers has never repented and has said as late as 2001 he wished he had done more to stop the war. Barack Obama confirmed during a primary debate that he knew Ayers and, when pressed, said they served on a charitable foundation board together, and Obama condemned Ayers' support of violence. But the relationship between Obama and Ayers went much deeper, ran much longer, and was much more political than Obama said.
What they are arguing is that somehow the fact that these two people who served both educational reformers in Chicago, both of whom did have their paths crossed professionally as well as neighbors occasionally, that somehow this association is a problem for Barack Obama because of Bill Ayers' past and things that happened in the 1960s when Barack Obama was 7 years old. And that's just wrong, and frankly, it's quite unfair.
One place their paths repeatedly crossed, according to a CNN review of board minutes and other records, was Chicago's Annenberg Challenge Project, where a $50 million grant from the Annenberg Foundation matched locally raised funds to improve schools. According to participants and project records, Bill Ayers fought to bring the Annenberg grant to Chicago. Barack Obama was recruited as its chair. For 7 years, Bill Ayers and Obama, among many others, worked on funding for education projects, including some experiments supported by Ayers. Stanley Kurtz, a conservative researcher for the Ethics and Public Policy Center, has also been reviewing the recently released records of Chicago's Annenberg Challenge.
Instead of giving money directly to schools, they gave money to what they called external partners. And these external partners were often pretty radical community organizer groups.
And the board gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to Bill Ayers' Small Schools Project, promoting alternative education like the Peace School, with a curriculum centered around a United Nations theme, and another school where the focus was African American studies.
And this was directly funded by Annenberg?
Oh, yes.
Under Obama's chairmanship?
Oh, yes, and the specific job of the board of directors was to give out the money.
While continuing work on the Annenberg Challenge, Barack Obama and Bill Ayers also served together on a second charitable foundation, the Woods Fund. Among its recipients, Jeremiah Wright's Trinity United Church, where Obama attended, and a Children and Family Justice Center where Ayers' wife worked. Ayers has strong defenders in Chicago, among them Richard Daley, the mayor, who called Ayers a valued member of the Chicago community. The city gave Ayers its Citizen of the Year award in 1997 for his work on the Annenberg Project. For Obama, the chairmanship of the $100 million Annenberg board helped vault him from Southside Chicago lawyer to political player, and that, too, has another connection to Bill Ayers. In 1995, months after the little-known Barack Obama became Annenberg Project chair, State Senator Alice Palmer introduced the young Obama as her political heir apparent. Where was that introduction made? At the home of the 60s radicals, Bill Ayers and Bernadine Dorn. The Obama campaign again says it is just a coincidence.
A Democratic state senator organizes a meeting of her supporters at the house of another one of her supporters. What is the problem here, Drew? It is the worst kind of inference and the worst kind of politics to say that somehow that says something about Barack Obama.
That was CNN's Drew Griffin reporting, and gosh, don't you just hate all those evil conservatives over at CNN? Back in a minute.